Tatsu was an average woman when one day her husband's brother, Tako, killed her husband with a mystical sword called Soul Taker. While dueling with Tatsu's husband, Tako accidentally set Tatsu's house on fire. Tatsu defeated Tako, then attempted to run back to the house to save her children from the fire when she heard her husband's voice coming from the sword, telling her to come back for it. She did, and her children ended up dying in the fire. Tatsu then trained as a samurai and moved to America so that she could fight for justice. Eventually, she goes by a name, named after the type of sword Soul Taker is, and that name is Katana.
What's up, geeks? So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to turn yourself into Katana, who's going to be in Suicide Squad. In the comics, Katana is not a villain and she's not inside of Suicide Squad, so we'll see how she plays a part in the movie. Nonetheless, I'm really excited to see her being brought to the big screen. I can't wait for that movie. True story, I actually filmed a Katana tutorial like almost a year ago. It's either a year ago or almost a year ago, and you can see some images of it, like footage I guess. On my other channel, I Wanted to See One video, I did a Suicide Squad video where I turned myself into 6 Suicide Squad characters, and I was going to upload a tutorial for it, never got around to it, and I now wanted to upload a tutorial for her, but I wanted to do it from the head down to my waist because that's the type of body painting I do on this channel. I didn't want it to cut off like here, which is on my other channel where I mainly paint myself. So I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be notified every single time I upload, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like. It helps support my channel, and a thumbs up really helps my videos do better. So if you like it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. With that being said, let's begin the tutorial.
To start the look off, I take a white eyeliner pencil and I use it to outline Katana's mask and eyes. I also use that eyeliner pencil to kind of draw on the shape of the eyes. When you paint eyes on top of your eyelids, there can be creasing lots of times, especially if you're not applying eyeshadow on top of it. So if you're going to paint your eyes white, it's nice to have that white eyeliner base below it so it can help prevent the creasing that might happen when you apply the face paint. I also outline where the armor will be, so the shoulder pads and the circle that is on her forehead. Her mask is meant to look like the Japanese flag, so the circle represents the sun. Now take a white face paint to paint on the base color of the mask. I know some people have a hard time painting with white paint. They tend to get streaks. So if you're getting streaks, what you want to do is move your brush around a lot. You don't want to just keep going in an up and down motion. You want to go up, down, diagonally, and you don't want to apply too much paint to the face, because if you do, you're going to eventually start having cracking going on. So you just want to apply thin layers, and if it's not opaque enough, you can go ahead and use like a cream paint on top of that or a white eyeshadow. Now I take a red paint and I use that to paint the circle. Now take your black paint and use it to outline the mask and outline the circle. You're also going to use it to paint on some eyebrows. I like to follow my natural brow shape, even if there is a comic book character that I'm recreating and she tends to have like thinner or straighter brows. I follow my natural brow shape just because I want to do something that suits my face. And then after I've painted on the eyebrows, I start outlining where the eye is. You're going to be painting on a cat eye shape, and I created some shading on the eye that ended up looking like lashes, but you don't really need lashes because her mask is a mask. They would lie over your lashes. You would see the eye only. So after you've outlined the eye and you've created that kind of cat shape, the wing that extends out toward the brow, you can go back with your white paint and apply that to where the whites of the eyes are. I had some creasing going on, but that was because I wasn't waiting for the white face paint to dry, and then I just kept opening my eyes, and then the white paint would just mix with the black paint. But when I painted it the second time around, I didn't have that because I waited for it to dry. Now use the black paint to start creating markings on the face that look like shading. That's what it's supposed to be, like shading and kind of comic book. I would call it comic book lines or comic book strikes. I don't know really how to explain it, but all you have to do is look at a picture of Katana and you'll see exactly what you want to do. I will put the reference pictures I use down below. So basically I was copying the exact shading that was inside of those reference pictures. So basically you're creating shadows using this black paint. You're not going to actually use eyeshadow to do it. You're going to use black paint, which is going to make it look more comic-y. Now mix together a light gray paint and use that as the base color of the armor. So basically like her skin color. It's not really her skin color, but I'm gonna say skin color so you get a better idea of what I'm trying to show you guys at the moment. You want to use a light gray color because that's going to be the base color. You don't want it to be too dark, because if it's too dark, once you try to add more dimension to the skin, it's not really going to pop up. You're gonna have to use like blacks then to add a lot of dimension, and you don't want to. You want different tones of gray, and then you want some black shading, not just a gray color and then the black. Now you're going to go back with your black paint, and you're going to use that to outline the face, to really define your cheekbones. You're going to use it to create shading on top of the body, lots of shading on top of the body. Again, you just gotta look at a picture. You'll know exactly where you want to apply the black paint. This is my favorite thing to do when it comes to body painting or makeup in general. Even when I'm doing a wearable like makeup look, I love to shade the crease. And it's the exact same thing when I body paint. I love to shade either with eyeshadow, which I don't do too much with the comic book kind of style body paints, but my other type of body paints I love to shade with eyeshadow, and then with the more comic book type of style body paints I love to shade with the black paint. It adds so much to a look. When you shade the lips, what you're going to do is you're going to outline your entire lip using the black paint, and you're going to shade the top lip and a little bit of the bottom lip. Then you're going to take your red paint and use that to fill in the spaces you didn't apply the black paint to the bottom lip. While you got that red paint out, you're going to use it to paint the red parts of Katana's armor. So that's the area that's like right above your chest, and then the parts that are on your arm. And then you're going to go back with your black paint, and you're going to add some shading and wrinkles on those areas. Okay, now it's going to come down to personal preference for what color you want to paint the armor. There's parts, or I shouldn't say parts, there's comics where the armor is green, and then there's ones where it is silver. For me, I decided to go with the green route just because I wanted more color to this body paint. So I go ahead and I mix like an army green color together, like a light army green color, and I use that as the base color for the shoulder pads. That's what I'm going to call them. And then you want to mix together a darker green and use that to shade the shoulder pads. So the way you just shade it is you take your paintbrush and you add a little bit of green paint here and a little bit of green paint there. Now you're going to take a brown paint and you're going to use it to paint on the little things that kind of look like sticks. They're not sticks. I think it's just like the stitching that holds the armor together. So you're just going to use the brown paint to paint that on. And then you're going to go back with your black paint to outline them as well as define the armor. So there's like these lines that are going through it. Now you're going to mix together a light green color. You're going to use that to highlight the armor. You just highlight here and there wherever you see fit, and again, you just want to reference a picture. To mix all my green colors, I basically used green, brown, and white. To get the darker colors, I mixed green and brown, and then to get the lighter colors, green, white, and brown, because I didn't want the green to be too green. You're going to go back with your black paint, and then you're going to use that to shade and add some markings on the armor as well, just like you did on the rest of the body. I wanted to use a black eyeshadow to shade the look and then a white eyeshadow to highlight the look. First, we'll go with the black eyeshadow and what I did. I used it to shade around the mask. I basically created bags below my eyes, and then I shaded around the sides of my face with that black eyeshadow, and then I shade a little bit around my nose with it. I also use it to contour my cheekbones to really just chisel them out. I also used a black eyeshadow to shade below the armor. Now, when I painted this look the second time around, I used my black paint to create the shadow that's below the armor. But right now, for this tutorial, what I actually filmed for the tutorial, I used black eyeshadow. So you can use either or. And then you use your white eyeshadow to just highlight where you want. So basically like the high points of your body. So that would include your chin, the top portion of your cheekbones, your collarbone. It's basically up to you. wherever you see fit, and it just looks nicer when you do it this way. Now for the rest of the body, like my arms and the bottom portion, I basically painted it the same way I painted the top portion of my body, except the bottom portion of her, the armor is like a silver and a black. So basically, if you want to get an idea of how I did that, you might want to check out my Catwoman tutorial where I show you how to create that highlight and shading using face paint and black and silver face paints at that. So yeah, you might want to check that out. But basically everything else, like the red parts and the green parts, it's all the same way that you painted the top portion of the body.
Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I don't freaking have any swords. I wish I had like a sword, like a toy sword, not a real sword because my butt will probably stab myself. But yeah, like a fake sword for this video, but I don't. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Again, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll be notified every single time I upload. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever it might be. Take care. Bye.